Hello and welcome back to the channel, Cali Legends Media. Okay, we're going to get right into this video. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have seen different videos going around regarding Rodney in LA setting up these two black dudes that I made a video about the other day. If you haven't, let me just set the scene real quick. There was these two dudes, man, that Rodney was interviewing. Well, another barrio pulls up on them, and let me mention, this is not their barrio, nor is it the two black guys' barrio. This was done allegedly in Chinatown, according to Rodney in LA. So Rodney's interviewing these dudes. Car pulls up, asks these dudes where they're from. And I guess the black dudes couldn't hear him, right? They're like, what, like, what's up, right? They go and park. Homies get off the car and approach him, okay? They approach him, hit him up. Dude says, he's from Compton. The homies tell him, fuck Compton. Rather than jump, the youngster used his mind and probably said to himself, I'm not sure, but I'm thinking he was thinking, you know what, I'm just going to try to defuse this. I'm in the middle of a hood vlog, not even in my hood. So, that being the case, he got into character. He says that he was doing a hood vlog. He's a rapper. That they both represented the A, because they both have that letter in their neighborhood, right? It's the first letter in their gang, right? But those homies had already told him, fuck Compton, you know what I mean? And more than likely, these youngsters, homies, they're gonna trip on them. These guys were Keyways. They were Crips. So I'm thinking the clique they're from, I think it's ATF, I'm not sure, or ATK. But regardless, whatever clique they're from, whatever tip they're from, when they get back with their homies are going to see this vlog. For sure they are. They're probably going to want to discipline these guys in some sort of way, due to the fact that they didn't take flight when the homies said, fuck Compton. Now, in my opinion, these youngsters are out of their element. They're more rappers, studio gangsters, than straight out street gangsters. They're young. I don't think they've really been anywhere yet. They don't got that education that you get in jail, in prison, or in the streets. Nevertheless, their homies are going to give them a little something to remember for the next time they're approached, which is all bad. But it seems to me that the consensus with all of the podcasters that are making videos on these situations are wanted the worst outcome, that these dudes get off, that they take flight, and whatever happens, right? Regular gangster shit, but I'm going to give you my opinion. I think the best outcome was the one that took place. Them little youngsters were able to go home, continue to work on their music and their career. And it was up to the homies whether to give them a pass or not. And even they had it in their mind and in their hearts to say, they're youngsters. They're not banging like that. They're here on a different trip. And let them do their thing. And they walked away. And I think they did the right thing. The homies did the right thing. They were being female about it. If they would have reacted differently, the Crips, it would have escalated and turned into something, no doubt. The neighborhood that was involved with this meeting up of these two barrios, they fuck around and they have enemies that are black, you know. Nevertheless, it wasn't their neighborhood. They were just power checking. You know, they seen some young brothers there. Hey man, where's these fools from? You know, let's see, let's see where they're at. And they came across good. I'm a rapper, man, and I get down with the essays, you know. And they had said that before the incident even happened. So, in my opinion, they did the mature thing. They did the smart thing. They stood focused. And they were able to go back and continue to do their rapping and live another day, you know. Now, let's get to Rodney from LA. Now, he's a young homie, too. He's done hood vlogs all over LA. Some of them I disagree with, and the dudes he was interviewing were a little bit doing some video claiming and some other shit, you know, and trying to put parts of neighborhoods that didn't belong to them as on their map. But how would Rodney know that, right? Nevertheless, this dude Rodney from LA is getting blamed, even from the dudes he interviewed. They're blaming him that he set him up. Okay, he received calls from them like, "Hey man, you set us up. You know, like what's up? You know." If Rodney was smart, he would have cut that little piece out and just stuck to his hood blog. You know. But he wanted the controversy. He wanted the pedo. He got what he wanted. You know, this shit blew up, right? I don't know what that's gonna do as far as his reputation with the Keyways. You know, I don't know. You know, he did step in. The opposition to those Crips did recognize Rodney. And they shook hands. Everything was good. They talked firme. They said everybody got everything off their chest and went their separate ways. You know. So, in my opinion, as far as Rodney goes, he did his job. You know, he's out there doing something that's pretty dangerous. Nevertheless, he was able to defuse the situation this time. Okay, so you got to give it him for that. But a lot of people are wondering, man, did Rodney from LA set these dudes up? I don't think so. And if he did, what did he set up? This viral clip. That's it. You know, because if I know that if those homies would have heard something different or known these people were different than the way they were presenting themselves, it would have went off, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It would have jumped off right there on the lot. You know, regardless who would have had to shake the spot or who was gonna, you know, come out on top on that. But as far as Rodney being responsible, I'd be real surprised if that ever came out. He's been open about going online and stuff and trying to defend himself, and you know, he speaks out. He says that's all a bunch of cat. It's bullshit. You know, that ain't real. That's not real. You know, it's all. You know what? I noticed that on YouTube, just a few individuals cook something up in their brain, and it gets other people infected. By the time you know it, everybody's on this conspiracy and talking this madness, and a lot of times it's just a bunch of BS. You know what I mean? And I think pretty much that's what happened to Rodney. Rodney from LA should know the way people are by now. He's been doing this for a while. People talk masa. People have different ways of processing information, come out with different things. Some intelligent, some retarded. You know, it's just the way things are. You know, people come out with bullshit, you know, that don't make any sense whatsoever. You know, so Yeah, that's my opinion. Rodney from LA, I don't think set up anybody. Uh, what he did was he set himself up for failure, not only by doing a vlog somewhere where his people were unfamiliar of and didn't, he should be doing vlogs in their barrios, somewhere in their spots, in their areas where they're safe, where they feel safe at least. They're never ever really safe, no matter where they're at, even in their own neighborhoods, but they're safer than being out in the street. Maybe he thought that being out in Chinatown would be neutral territory, and I don't know. I don't know Rodney's thinking. But whatever it was, things could have went bad. Not only might have those two guys gotten hurt, those two black guys, but Rodney and his crew might have gotten hurt, the cameraman. You never know. You never know where those dudes' heads were that got off the car. What they were thinking, the way they wanted to act, I remember there was times when we did things like that, and even if someone was looking in our direction, we'd turn around and, what are you looking at? Get out of here. What? Boom, go get them too. You know what I'm saying? You with these vatos? Yeah, we're doing a what? Give me that camera, fool. Get what I'm saying? That shit could have went all kinds of ways. So it was a good thing that it went the way it went. Everybody went home. And Rodney now, he's still catching a lot of flack. And I think them youngsters are going to catch some flack from their homies. They got to make up their mind whether they want to be gangsters or they want to be rappers. But playing that gangster shit on the street, man, you got to play it out to the end. Your homeboys find out you act like the way these two youngsters did, and chances are you're going to get an issue. They're going to tighten up your screws and make you understand what you're a part of. Anyway, this is my video for today. Thanks for watching. God bless you. God bless your families. People, stay safe. Stay safe, man. Stay free. Stay focused on what's important, your family. I also want to thank all those people that have subscribed to the channel, that hit those likes, that hit those heights, man. Thank you very much. It's highly appreciated. And till the next one.